If you're overwhelmed, frustrated, and sick and tired of the clutter in your life, maybe it's time to do something about it. In this podcast, the most organized man in America, Andrew Mellen, demystifies how to organize your world. Andrew gives you the keys to stop clutter from robbing you of your precious time, freedom, and joy in your life. Here's your host, Andrew Mellen.
Welcome to Declutter Your Life. I'm your host, Andrew Mellen.
The third leg of the organizational triangle is something in, something out. This is the tool we use to stay organized. Now, you may not yet be organized, so staying organized might seem beyond your reach at this moment. Don't worry about it. Forewarned is forearmed. So I want you to have the information you need so you can use it when it's applicable. Not to mention, you can still use this leg in your daily life to avoid creating new clutter for yourself. By being thoughtful anytime you bring something new into your life, you will reduce any future organizing you need to do. There's a mindset shift you need to adopt to be successful, and that is acknowledging that you are the proper steward of everything that surrounds you. Hopefully, if you have children or companion animals, or even houseplants, you're already in touch with this. You've assumed responsibility for these living creatures and to the best of your ability are paying attention to how your behavior and your choices impact their well-being. While the welfare of inanimate objects around you is less of a concern because they are not alive, still you are responsible for those items and their proper disposal if and when they fail. This is the mindset shift that I'm talking about. We stop thinking of things as disposable, and because we know that language is powerful, we stop talking about throwing things in the garbage. Because garbage is literally the place of last resort for anything that we're finished with. First, we make sure that anything that is no longer useful or valuable to us finds a new home where it does still have value or utility to someone else. Or if that's not the case, then it needs to be properly recycled and not destined to either pollute the ocean or end up on a barge floating to China. With that in mind, suddenly the new gewgaw that you see in a store or online should give you pause before you reactively or unconsciously push a button or pull out your credit card. If you ask yourself first, why do I want this? Why do I need this? Where will it live? What will it do? Is it replacing something? Is it absolutely necessary? Could I wait 30 days before purchasing this to confirm that I actually need it? Bringing that attention to every acquisition will certainly slow, if not stop, unnecessary consumption and start to break that pattern for you. It's tremendously powerful and surprisingly difficult to do, at least in the beginning. It's why rules that say don't buy anything for 30 days sound great on paper and kick your ass in real life. Because you probably think, oh, I'm self-contained. What do I really need to buy besides food and possibly gas for my car? Even though sometimes the days seem to fly right past us, it's amazing how time seems to stand still when you're pushing a full cart towards the checkout counter at Target. So don't discount the significance of the third leg of the triangle, something in, something out. Once you've gotten organized, this one tool will keep you that way for the rest of your life. And as I said, it's pretty straightforward. Literally, when something comes in, something must leave. There are a few exceptions to this rule, like formal wear for a very specific event, or a new tool to meet a new challenge in your life, like a yoga mat if you take up yoga. Those exceptions, however, are not get-out-of-jail-free cards that then give you impunity to run around buying stuff. Let's be absolutely clear about this. You may be quite exceptional in any number of ways in your personal life. When it comes to stuff, chances are you are the rule, not the exception. So if you're prone to looking for ways to get out of things, if your cleverness is often used to undermine your success rather than further your success, please pay attention. Something in, something out is the tool that you're going to use to break that pattern. Something in, something out also has a macro application. And that's where we use this rule to set ourselves free from oppressive legislation and lawmakers who would rather use their power for their own interests rather than furthering the common good. We'll climb into this idea of the common good in a future episode, but for now, let's stay focused on what it takes for us to get out to the voting booths to make sure that people who are not representing our interests are not reelected. This is another mindset shift. It's easy to feel overwhelmed at the prospect of participating in electoral politics. It's easy to feel demoralized when we look at decisions like Citizens United and think, good grief. Clearly, corporations are not people. How the fuck did their language become protected and I don't have health insurance? When our own houses are in order, it is that much easier to navigate these despicable and inhumane current conditions, knowing that with enough effort and strategy and tenacity, even things as repugnant and dangerous as Citizens United can be overturned. But as I've said before, if you can't find your keys, if you can't find your cell phone, if you're too busy running around spending money you don't need to and wasting time you don't have enough of, then nothing is going to change in your favor. Things will definitely change. They'll just get worse. Leaving the fox in the hen house is never a good idea. In a future episode, we'll also talk about comfort and why our misdirected concerns with our own comfort have led to so many of the ills we're currently facing. For now, let's make sure we have no physical obstacles between us and civic participation. And the best way to do that is to get and stay organized, to simplify your life so that you can easily manage your life and then use your free time to advocate for yourself and those who are further behind you in this process. No one gets left behind. That is a guiding principle. It's one thing for the sick and weak to wander off into the woods to die because they choose to. It's another thing entirely for us to leave them behind because it's too inconvenient to carry them with us. Don't think for a minute that form of laziness and self-indulgence will not be exploited by people who wish to take advantage of you. Living your values means living your values every day, even when it's inconvenient, even when it's uncomfortable, even when it hurts. I enjoy pleasure as much as the next person, and God knows I don't think life was intended to be miserable or mean. But so many of us enjoy a degree of comfort and privilege that was unheard of even 50 or 100 years ago. Remember, freedom isn't free. So as you work to get organized at home and at the office, keep in mind that every new thing you bring into your life has the potential ability to slow your progress and undermine your success. Pay attention to your choices every day. Just like they say, don't go to the grocery store when you're hungry, it's probably a good idea not to purchase something when you're tired. It's too easy to let yourself off the hook and tell yourself, oh, I'll just deal with it later. As a rule, we try to avoid invoking later, because later is really just the vague stepchild of someday. And we all know when someday is. Never. If you're scheduling things for someday, you might as well just admit to yourself and anyone who's listening that you have no real intention of ever doing those things. We'll leave it at that for now. Use the organizational triangle to get and stay organized, share it with everyone you know who could use some extra help, and call one elected official this week and let them know what you like and don't like about their choices and how they are representing you. Never forget that they work for you. And never allow them to forget it either.
So that's it for today's episode. Be sure to join us here for other episodes of Declutter Your Life. Again, I'm your host, Andrew Mellen. I'll look forward to being with you again real soon.
That's it for today's episode. Head on over to iTunes and subscribe to the show. One lucky person every single week that posts a review on iTunes will win a chance in the grand prize drawing to win a $25,000 private VIP day with Andrew Mellen himself. Be sure to go to declutteryourlifeshow.com and pick up a free copy of Andrew's gift. And join us on the next episodes.